Hello, gorgeous Pisces. How are you? This is your monthly, half-monthly kind of, and a half of the month shadow reading. I thought I'd share my shadow with you today. I have 3 beautiful dogs. Well, 2 are my parents, but they're all in the same house. And let's just say they're not very well trained. They're lovely. And they each have a very interesting personality, as I'm sure you'll discover. But that comes with some fun. So that's my shadow. My also shadow is that there's something going on with my hair, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I thought I'd work with that and push through it. Now, the reason I'm out here today is because the dogs tend to, well, get a little bit huffy if I don't get to know that they're loved while I'm doing the reading. So I thought I'd share this joy with you today. Anyway, they're much more settled than they were 10 minutes ago. So let's get started. What is going on for Pisces this month as far as their shadow goes? For those of you who don't know, shadow work is when we look at the parts of ourselves that need healing, the parts that we deny, that we ignore, and that we don't like very much. So we need to face them. It's part of our growth. Anyway, I hope you like dogs. At the bottom of the deck, we have the goblin, the wounded human ego. Now, I think that's pretty appropriate for a shadow reading, don't you? Don't you? Look what I discovered. I discovered that this table has a secret. I can hold the cards up when I use this table. So we've got the goblin, we've got the dragon, power and strength. I've just realised for you it will go in reverse. And forgiveness. Now, I love these 3 together. So we've got the wounded human ego. It is really like a bit of a goblin. I've never thought of it like that before, but it is a bit like a goblin. It kind of hides in the dark and does all sorts of nasty, sneaky things. Then we've got strength, and that's what it takes to face the goblin and let yourself feel what you need to feel and move through it. And then you can have forgiveness on the other side. Now, no barking, please. Darling, Barney? No. Oh, here we go. No barking. Now, the thing about forgiveness is it's not letting someone off the hook. It's not saying it's okay. It's not saying you get a free pass for hurting me. That is not what forgiveness is about. Forgiveness is almost letting it go. It's not forgetting it. It's really being brave enough to see that behaviour is unacceptable, but there's a wounded person behind it. Now, you don't have to accept the behaviour because of the wound that caused it. You don't have to say it's okay. But in order to heal yourself, I think forgiveness is a form of compassion. Compassion for you and your wounds, compassion for handling it the best way you possibly knew how, and compassion for the person who is so damaged that they had to do what they did. And that's, to me, that's what forgiveness is all about. So let's see where we go from here. My little Pisces, deep little Pisces. I've got a birthday reading coming up for you. And this year I'm doing a year reading. So you'll get a full year's inner circle. Let's see, Pisces. Pisces. I love this deck. It is a hidden realm, and on the back of the cards you see why I love this for shadow work. Anyway, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Five of Wands. And that is really talking about internal battle, internal struggle, the fight we have inside with ourselves. It's a real tug of war, and that's what's kind of overreaching, overarching us for this reading this month. Let's see if it'll work again. Hey! Small things. I just love small things. Anyway, sorry, I'm being a bit distracted this month. I might need to work on that. Okay, so the current situation is temperance, balance, patience, flow. Being grounded, but also allowing your emotions. You're currently in the Two of Wands, deciding where you want to go from here. How do you want to handle it? Which direction do you want to go? Because you know you want something different, but you've still got this internal fight going on in your head. Rocking you is the world, which is really interesting. That's the challenge for you. That's the ending of a cycle. And that's basically the whole theme of this reading. And so you know you need this patience and this balance. You know you need to decide which way you're going to go. You've still got the argument in your head. Do you turn the wheel? Do you end the cycle? Or are you still listening to your goblins? Hello, Barney. This is Barney. He's my baby. Okay. So at the foundation, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. And that is Lily. That's the Independence card. That's the Independence card that talks about being in control of your own stuff. Front door, please. So that's the foundation. Recent past, you've got the Ten of Pentacles, and it might look like you've got everything that you want from the outside, but you don't really. You don't really have everything you want. This is why the foundation is seeking independence. Right. Seven of Pentacles is your current energy. It's almost like on the outside, you look like you've got everything. And people around you think you've got everything. And it's all wonderful. And you're showing that. You know, you're showing it off that you're the mother or the father, and you've got this wonderful family life, and you're growing it, and it's all wonderful and everything like that. Underneath, though, you you want to be free. Now, you could be in a bad relationship. You could be in an unhealthy relationship. You could have some Sagittarius in your chart. And you're struggling with this because you've got the goblins in your head that says you're supposed to, you should. This is how real people do it. Mothers always put everybody else first. That's what a mother is. Or fathers always have to provide for the family and need a good job. That's what a father is. Now, luckily, it's not that clear-cut and ingrained anymore, but there's still that leftover goblin in society that it's almost passed down from gene to gene to gene, epigenetics, where things are built in, and it takes some work to overcome them. So that's why this is kind of stuck in the middle, this needing patience and a balance rather than one way or the other. I'm a bit all over the place, but hopefully I'll get the message out so that you understand it. Because, sometimes I don't understand it. Anyhow, when you're caught in this struggle from how you are now or how you've been raised and wanting something different, the biggest thing to overcome is the pendulum swing. Now, it's particularly noticeable with people who grew up in abusive families. Sorry. Especially if they were beaten or something. Sometimes it's handed down, but other times you are so wounded that you refuse to put any kind of limitations that you see as being controlling or abusive. And so instead of being this, you go to the polar opposite, not you, maybe, but other people or people who go through this. Polar opposite. And so their kids have no boundaries, no guidance, no rules to know that this is their structure, this is their security. So they're just free and they don't know their safety limits. So that's just one example of the pendulum swing. Now, the biggest test and the biggest way to get strength is to find the middle ground and to work on a healthy balance between this end and this end, because there is a healthy balance. And that's probably the struggle now. A lot of women think, or a lot of men think, that if they've confined and putting everybody else first, that if they have time for themselves and do things that they enjoy doing, then that's being selfish. It's like completely the opposite way. And that's just not built in for them because they're caring people. The way to look at it is that it doesn't have to be a this or a that. There can be a this and a that. The main thing in order to find the middle ground is to discover and allow yourself to be as important as everybody else. Not better, not worse, not more important, not less important. The exact same value you have for everybody else you need to have for yourself. And let's work on that. So, what's coming up for you? No, wrong end, please. You've got the Lovers coming up. which is really interesting because at the foundation you've got independence. You've recently had it all, and now you've got the Lovers coming up. So maybe one of the pendulum swings is that you've been so fiercely protective of your freedom and your independence. And so this worries you, and this you're not sure of how to handle, and that's tug of war. If I have a relationship, I will lose my independence. So you're one side over the other? No, not necessarily. This stuff's up to you. Where are your boundaries? Where's your strength? Inner security. Where's the forgiveness of yourself for protecting yourself to the point where you pushed other people away? Forgive yourself. You were protecting yourself from being hurt. Makes perfect sense. But now you're strong enough to realise that you can make it through getting hurt, and that by blocking out possible hurt, you are also blocking out possible love and joy and happiness. All of that stuff. Yep. Excuse me. You are currently in the energy of the Four of Cups. Looking at what I've lost and not looking at what's yet or coming, or putting it all in the same basket, assuming it's all going to be the same. I want it to be different. I really want it to be different, lovers. But I'm so focused on all the shit that's happened in the past, all my emotions gone to waste, that either I can't see it or I don't want to see it. Other people are seeing you very similarly. This is the Five of Cups. They're seeing you as hanging on to grief, hanging on to what's lost, hanging on to pain in the past. And that's how other people are seeing you now. That's not necessarily true, but it's how they're seeing you. He doesn't want to stand up. So let's just lie him down. The advice here is beautiful. It's the Page of Cups. Now this talks about beginnings, small messages, dipping your toe in the water and learning how to do it all over again, only this time a different way. It's almost like, look at the scars she's got. I mean, I know they're tattoos, but in this situation it could be she's got scars, but she's still prepared to offer or receive love. And you don't have to dive straight in. You don't have to do it like you've done every other time. The best way not to get hurt is to ask good questions and give, and then see if you receive. Don't give and give and give in order to receive, in order to be seen as valuable or be appreciated or be loved. Give because it's what you want to do. Don't overgive. See what happens. See what happens. And then see how you feel. Do you deep down feel respected? And don't do it in the first 3 months. That's my guide. If you want to stop being hurt, if you want to end the cycle, if you want to stop being hurt and you want to end the cycle, give it 3 months. Any new relationship, friend, romantic, 3 months. That's my guide. And you know how I learnt that? Hard way. I worked out that within 3 months, people will show their true colours. They can't hold the mask on for that long. And they might not show all their true colours, but there'll be red flags. See how important you are. If you're more important than other things, that's a red flag. If you're less important than work or sport or mates or anything else, that's a red flag. If you are treated as valuable and as equal and with respect and consideration halfway, then that's a pretty good indication that you're on the right track. Look at things from a different perspective. Step back from your emotions. Last but not least, sorry, I got my eyes back on. Page of Pentacles is the outcome. Again, page. Nothing too big in this reading except the world which is needing to be looked at. And temperance, which is really, really important at the moment, is this lovely balance. So the outcome is the Page of Pentacles. Now, if you follow the advice and you take it nice and slowly, then you might get a really nice, grounded, balanced beginning, start over, healthy way of moving forward. You know, if you very kindly, just gently say, this is what I've got to offer, then if the other person is as careful and as reciprocal, equal give and take, and says, well, here's what I've got to offer, and let's see how we can work together, what a better outcome could we have? So, to wrap this up, my loves, for this month, we're really looking at our goblins from the past, seeing why we need to be so independent and so protective of ourselves. And we need to work out how we can challenge our fear of losing our independence, how we can come to the centre. And we can forgive ourselves and others because we're human. We're just human, trying to do the best we can with what we've got. So look at it in a balanced way. Decide which way you want to go. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. No pendulum. And work out turning the wheel. Getting out of the fear and moving into the possibility. All right, my loves? I hope this helps. Let me know how you go. And I hope to see you soon. Much love.